All right, Nico. Well, without further ado, let's get it.
It's me, Ricky Martin. Come on, hot, 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 or cold. Yo, hot, 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 or cold.
Oh, that was short.
Hot, or cold. Yes, it is indeed time for the hot and cold lists, but I am mixing it up this week. We are going to launch right into the home run king, Nico.
I am king, king, king.
It's good to be king.
Don't you know you're riding with the king?
Hail to the king, baby.
Hail to the king.
We are hailing to the king here, and we are hailing this week to Will Benson of your Cincinnati Reds, everybody. And as far as I remember, he is the first one to hit 5 home runs in a week this season.
Wow.
Am I wrong about that? Do you remember if anyone's hit more than 5?
Nope.
I don't think so. It's always 4, 4, 4, 4.
Forced to be the magic number. 5 is now.
Indeed, man. Will Benson, have yourself a week. 5 home runs for the Cincinnati Reds, who, as we mentioned earlier, went into Cleveland and swept them. Terry Francona's former home. Will Benson is recently back, and you know he got a lot of publicity when he was first called up a couple of years ago. Now had a down year last year, and now we haven't really gotten to see if he is going to be a beneficiary of the Terry Francona management that we've been so focused on Ellie De La Cruz with. We forget that the Reds also have a lot of good young players on their roster. So Will Benson is one of them, and he had a hell of a week. We'll see if he can keep it going. 5 home runs. Congratulations.
Very nice.
All right, well, let's flip it over to the hot list, shall we?
I'll tell you one fucking thing.
He's heating up.
I hope we get fucking hotter than shit.
He's on fire.
I said it's getting hot in here. So hot.
So hot right now.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
Excuse me, pardon me, coming through hot stuff.
Looking for some hot stuff, baby, this evening. I need some hot stuff, baby, tonight.
Yes, indeed. We need some hot stuff tonight, and Will Benson is actually bringing the hot stuff. Aside from those 5 home runs, he also brought himself a .500 batting average this week. He was 10 for 19 at the plate with a double, those 5 aforementioned home runs, 10 RBIs, 5 runs scored, 3 walks, and a stolen base to boot.
He got everything.
Get ready for these numbers, folks. This is the highest we've seen in a while. A .526 average, a .591 on base, a 1.368 slugging, and a 1.959 on base plus slugging. He almost hit 2,000, folks.
Almost.
In a week, but still. It was close. Will Benson, you are hot, sir. Stay hot for your
Smoking
Cincinnati
hot.
Reds. But there were others on the list, and they were in New York, and it was Juan Soto's replacement.
Uh-oh.
It was Mr. Torpedo Bat himself, Cody Bellinger, everybody. He was not sleepy this weekend in New York. He was 11 for 24 with 4 doubles, 2 home runs, including that big grand salami last night, 6 runs scored, and 4 walks to go along with 8 RBIs. .458 batting average, a .536 on base, an .875 slug, and a 1.411 on base plus slugging. Cody Bellinger, you, sir, were hot this last week.
Well, we saw that.
We did. And no offense to the Mets, but I enjoyed seeing it a little bit. It's a beautiful left-handed swing, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to the Windy City, and it is the Windy City Flyer, as I'm calling him, Pete Crow-Armstrong. He was also 11 for 24 at the plate this week with a double, 2 triples, 2 home runs, 10 RBIs, 5 runs scored, a walk, and a stolen base. That was a .458 batting average, a .462 on base, a .917 slug, and a 1.379 OPS. Have yourself a week, Pete Crow-Armstrong, for the Chicago Cubs, my new MVP candidate.
Very nice.
Absolutely. He's been just so good in that leadoff spot, and this was all a leadoff week, and he makes the hot list. I think you got to keep him there.
I think so. Hopefully, Greg Console sees it.
Yeah, I think they all see it. All right. Well, we're going to keep it on the offensive accomplishments, Nika, and I'm going to make you road run it.
Oh.
Meep, meep.
Meep, meep. Meep, meep.
Did you happen to see the Roadrunner this week, Nika?
No.
He was meeping around the bases.
Must have been
4
fast.
stolen bases for... Well, he actually lives in the desert. It's Corbin Carroll, everybody. He lives amongst the Roadrunners out
Very
here.
fitting then.
Yes, very fitting. 4 stolen bases, not the highest total we've seen on the season, but boy, oh boy. When you look at Corbin Carroll, when you look at Tatis, when you look at Pete Crow-Armstrong, when you look at Kyle Tucker, when you look at Ohtani, the NL MVP race is already just scorching hot this year.
It's true.
It is going to be a hell of a race. I mean, in the AL, it looks like Judge, and that's it. And then
That's
in
it.
the NL, you have this hot race, and Juan Soto's not even in the conversation. I wouldn't put it past him to get back into it somehow. But for now, it's already crowded at the top. And Corbin Carroll deserves every bit of as much of attention on him as does Pete Crow-Armstrong. You know, they are not the tallest, biggest looking dudes in the shed, but they get it done.
They do.
And
they
that
definitely-
speed is such a weapon. It is such a weapon, folks. Oh boy, it is late afternoon here in the desert, and I think the air conditioning is kicking on a little extra over here, Nika, because it is getting cold in here.
How feel you? I feel cold.
You're as cold as ice. Let's kick some ice.
Oh. Oh, boy.
All right. Well, we had the cold list to get to, and do you have number 1 up there yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't like playing first base so much, did he?
Nope.
Unlike his buddy Devers, who was hitting grand slams and walk-off home runs this past week, Christian Campbell was taking ground balls at first base, and
It shows.
he was bringing that to the plate with him, apparently, because he was 1 for 21. He did hit a home run and drive in 2 runs. He scored that run, and he walked and had 8 strikeouts. He was the coldest hitter this week in the major leagues with a 0.48 batting average, a 0.91 on base, a 190 slug, and a 281 OPS. Christian Campbell, go have some Campbell soup maybe and heat up.
He's learning his new position. Maybe it's affecting him. Who knows?
I feel bad, like he got thrust right into the
Yeah.
Rafael Devers drama without asking.
I know.
It's like-
awful.
You think everyone in the locker room's like, gosh, I hope he doesn't look at me. All right. Well, sorry, Christian. But, it'll blow over.
Yeah.
Number 2, George Springer from the Toronto Blue Jays, who did win 1 out of 3 against the mighty Tigers in the American League this past weekend. 1 for 19 at the plate with a double, a run scored, 3 walks, and 7 strikeouts, which means he's probably about to go apeshit all over the Padres, who
Oh,
are
boy.
coming to Toronto soon, starting tomorrow. No, it just works out that way, doesn't it, in life, Nika? But that must mean Jackson Merrill's about to get hot again, too.
Baseball has a tendency to balance itself out.
It does. And I like that about baseball. All right. Well, number 3, not to be outdone, was Brenton Doyle of your Colorado Rockies, who was 2 for 21 this week with a run, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. A very small stat line. He did have a 0.95 batting average, almost 100. He almost made it. 136 on base, a 0.95 slug, and a 231 OPS. Better luck this week, Brenton Doyle. But without further ado, Nika, we need to turn it over to the big whiffer, I believe.
Hey, bada, swing, bada. Hey, bada, swing, bada. Kennedy, swing, bada.
Okay.
All right, everybody. And that's right. It was Cameron Meisner from the Rays, everybody, with 12 strikeouts this week. He was the big whiffer. And I saw one of these earlier on in our show, Nika, during that immaculate inning from Cal Quantrill when the Marlins were when obviously the games were going on this weekend, Marlins, Rays. Yeah.
He was the recipient of
He
that.
was the recipient of the immaculate inning. The final out of the immaculate
Oh, boy.
inning. Is that the worst one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're the last hope, right?
Yeah.
Like, gosh, if this guy gets an immaculate inning on us, that's
Well,
we
this
didn't
is the
touch
end.
him, man. All right, yeah, that was it. That was the big whiffer. Better luck to you this week, Cameron Meisner of your Tampa Bay Rays. And well, that's it, Nika. That's today's show.